Hey everybody, welcome to this week's transformation reading, where we've been taking a card from this deck that I'm working on with the creator, and has 7 stacks, and the first stack is about our emotional fire. And so each of these cards have like this emotion, and so we are just looking to see what emotion the creator would like us to look into, how we can transform from a uncomfortable emotion of fear into one of unconditional love, peace, joy, and laughter. So I've been taking the cards out as we're going along, and so we're getting down to just a few here. So we'll see what, for this week, what the creator wants us to focus in on. Okay, so that is the one that we're going to look into. And we've got the worry card, which this one always cracks me up, because this is like sometimes how we feel what we need to do to feel safe in the world. We're worried about how we're going to get, bruised, how we're going to get hurt out in the outside world. So we put on a helmet and shoulder pads and all the leg protection and everything else. It also brings this picture to mind of like someone who lives in a wintry type place, and the kid wants to go out to play in the snow, and so the parent puts them in this big puffy snowsuit, big boots, big gloves, a big scarf, a big hat, and it almost looks like a round ball of clothing and warmth, where you can't even go out and have fun anymore, because you would just roll around in the snow and become a snowball yourself, right? Which, of course, in our whole journey as the human here is all about fearing about what could happen. And it's a fear of the future. It can be based on the past of things we have experienced ourselves, or that we, saw other people go through. But we're afraid of what new things are going to mean about the future. And so worry does live in our future. It doesn't live in the present, because we don't worry about what's happening in this moment, because we're living through it, right? But what we're afraid of is the outcomes. And that's what the creator brings in here, is this beautiful transitional way. It says, let go of outcomes and trust spirit, trust the creator, trust the spiritual realm. And there's a good message that comes in with that. It kind of has this feeling of the Wheel of Fortune, or the even the Tower card in regular tarot, which the story behind all that is, before we came down here as our souls, we choose when we're going to be born. It's like playing a game, and you're creating an avatar, right? So you're like, this is when I'm going to start the game, and this is what I'm going to look like, and these are going to be my strengths and my weaknesses and my weapons and the supplies and and then this is when I'm going to leave the game. And so we have our beginnings and our endings planned out, and then we have all the levels we want to accomplish in the game as we're going through it as well. And so we have all this stuff that's unfolding and going, and so there's all these fated events that we want to have happen, and all these experiences we want to experience, and so all those are put into play, and we have our invisible forces, all of our angels and spirit guides, and even loved ones on the other side, our ancestors, creator, Holy Spirit, and spirit, all those beings of unconditional love and light are having all these things unfold for us. Not to us, they're unfolding for us, because that's what we want to experience. And sometimes we ask, why on God's green earth would I want to experience, being betrayed? And it's like, well, it's hard for us to understand as the avatar, as the little human walking through the experiences, why we want to experience what we do. But a big part of it is about contrast. We experience here emotions and feelings that a small, limited, not as powerful being, a temporary being who is ignited by fight or flight, would only experience here. We are these powerful, eternal, spirit beings made of unconditional love on the other side. And being over there as beings of unconditional love if we didn't know and could experience unconditional love somewhere, we would not even know unconditional love exists, because it's everywhere, and it's like the air that we breathe. And like here on earth, if you didn't know that there was air, you just didn't even know it existed, because you're breathing it and it's all around you, until you go underwater. And when you go underwater, suddenly you realize, air. It becomes very clear what air is, and much more appreciative of the air. Same thing with the unconditional love and experiencing conditional love here. When we're down here experiencing conditional love, we can point up and go, that is unconditional love, And so that's the experiences that we come here to experience. So when it says release outcomes, when we can understand that and know that that's what we, came here to experience, and that within each experience, we still have the free will to decide what anything means to us. We get to decide if we're going to choose an extreme emotion of unconditional love or an extreme emotion of fear. So we still have the free will to experience the extremities of what we're going to experience. It's like a giant improv play where you're given all the, the situations and all that, and then they're like, go, and then you get to interpret it and act it out as you wish, and to the extremes that you wish to do it. And so when you learn to trust and connect again to your higher self, not just going around as this little human experiencing all those things, but when you are able to connect to your higher self and see things from the bigger perspective, from that higher level, then you don't feel like life is happening to you. You don't feel like a victim. You don't feel like you're on a out of control drama train that's going to jump the tracks and crash down a gorge. You feel like you're on a nice smooth monorail that's attached to the track, that has its specific stops that it's going to stop at throughout the time, and you're going to see the sights you're going to see, experience what you want to experience, right? So even when things are removed out of our lives, that's not happening to us, it's happening for us. There's things in our life that we've experienced for a reason up to a point, and this is what's called the tower moment, where this would continue to block us. We wouldn't get to experience all these other things that we want to experience. So like something in front of the monorail track, where like at this point, this needs to be removed for us to experience the rest of what we wanted to experience. So it's removed for us, right? And so that's what this, all this worry about is the outcomes. Well, what is that going to mean? When you realize that you're the one that determines the meaning of it, then the future of the unknown becomes less scary. You don't have to wear as much armor, because you realize that this stuff doesn't protect you. It's the inner strength that you find in that beautiful awareness that all those opinions coming from the outside, all those beliefs coming from the outside, that you don't have to take on your own. You don't have to take on the popular opinion of the emotion, or the popular opinion of how things should be, need to be, supposed to be, have to be. You get to determine that. And in doing so, worry transforms into a very peaceful place. You don't have to worry about tomorrow or the day after the day after the day after, in this moment now. And I love this beautiful awareness that comes that, no matter what happens, I'm going to be okay. Because either something's going to happen that kills me, and I'm going to be on the other side in that place of unconditional love again, where I've left the game, or I'm going to get through the moment. So in either case, we're going to be fine. And just know as you go throughout this week that every second of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. So until next time, have a great week. You take care.